These 10 acres of land in Renton
It was a nice piece of land.
is heaven for John Houston.
All you hear is birds and chipmunks, and it was a sanctuary.
For the first few years of his life, it was his sanctuary.
Go anywhere, wander anywhere in the woods, and all of a sudden it was taken away.
In 1960, John's parents, George and Rachel Houston, bought the parcel in one of the few areas where Black families could own land. Shortly after, the Renton School District came to them, demanding they sell it to the district for a new middle school. They threatened eminent domain, the power of the government to take private property and convert it to public use.
My parents refused, so they didn't want to sell. First house was literally a shack that we lived in. That burned down.
Their second house also burned, and third, destroyed by an explosive device.
What finally pushed your father to make that sale?
One word: fear. After the two fires and the bomb, somebody was sending a story, sending a message.
In 1968, George Houston, who couldn't read or write, signed an X on the line in lieu of his signature, selling the 9.84 acres to the Renton School District for $44,630.24.
It was pretty tough. It brought up some feelings about the color of my skin, living in a basically all-white Renton, and it was straight racism.
This isn't an isolated case. A 2014 report from the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights states eminent domain use displaced African Americans 5 times more than their representation in the nation's population.
Uneducated, poor, and Black. To me, it was easy pickings for them.
The promised middle school? It was never built. A 2023 email confirms the district sold the land just 12 years later in 1980, flipping the Houston parcel and neighboring properties for $186,675, more than double what they had bought it for.
I think we had too much. 10 acres of land was too much here in Washington State.
For a Black family.
For a Black family.
Evicted folks from their homes.
The Houston story sparked action from State Senator Bob Hasegawa, who drafted the Houston Eminent Domain Fairness Act. The bill would give former owners first rights to buy back land at the original price if never used for public purpose.
Well, I heard his story and I said, this ain't right. We got to try and fix this. But unfortunately, doing something retroactive is really difficult, if not impossible. So talked it over with Mr. Houston, and he graciously said, we just don't want this to happen to people in the future.
Dreams of building generational wealth?
That was taken away. My mom died living on food stamps in government housing.
Now, million-dollar homes stand on what should have been the Houston family legacy.
My dad tore down buildings. My mom cleaned houses, people's toilets, ironed their clothes to pay for this property.
Houston wants financial reparations and one other thing that doesn't cost a single dollar, an apology from the district.
I think that's the American dream, is to own a home and own some land. Their dream came true. They were able to buy a place, just like my parents. They were able to buy a place, and somebody wanted it more, I guess.
With photojournalist Rachel Kim for Facing Race, Sharon Yu, King 5 News.